Further debate? I recognize the member from York South West.
Thank you, Speaker. Maba Hai and Eid Mubarak. It's an honour for me to stand on behalf of the decent and hard-working people of York South Western, and it is my pleasure and, in fact, an honour to rise today to speak to Bill 217, brought forward my colleague from Scarborough South West. I want to thank her for bringing forward this bill, making Filipino Heritage Month on behalf of Filipino Canadians in my riding of York South Western and across Ontario. Ontario is fortunate to have over 300,000 Filipino Canadians, making this province their home. Bill 117 looks to proclaim the month of June as Filipino Heritage Month, and this represents the work Filipino community members have sought for years. June 12th, of course, is celebrated internationally by the Filipino community as Filipino Independent Day, and the month of June is recognized by the federal government as Filipino Heritage Month. It is high time that provincially we honour and recognize the enormous Filipino community contribution to our province by passing Bill 217 and declaring June Filipino Heritage Month in Ontario. In my riding of York South Western, we are fortunate to be home to a growing Filipino community. As the youth opportunities critic, I see Filipino youth being very much involved in their communities. Their influence and contribution to the arts, culture, and food scene is undeniable. The hard work ethic and strong bond and importance of family and community is a hallmark of the Filipino community, and we could all be better served as a society by following that model. York South Western is home to a great many essential frontline workers, many of those workers keeping our province moving are from the Filipino community. We need to recognize that the hard work and sacrifices made by the Filipino people in the healthcare during this pandemic were largely represented by women. Nurses, personal support workers, dietary aides, and caregivers and cleaners in long-term care, retirement homes, hospitals, as well as home care are significantly from the Filipino community. We need to give those workers and the Filipino community more than just thanks. We need to recognize that when we talk about the military report into the long-term care or the recent report by the Auditor General into the horrible conditions and understaffed working conditions that those essential workers deal with on a daily basis, that we need to do right by those workers, and we have clearly not done that, Madam Speaker. Essential workers is still awaiting pandemic pay and having to work more than one part-time job in terrible conditions is unacceptable. Women, and Filipino women in particular, bear the brunt of this hardship. The government needs to move on showing these workers the respect they need and the working and pay conditions they deserve. Madam Speaker, in my riding of York South Western, the pandemic has hit our community hard, and we have been neglected in COVID testing access and COVID vaccine access that is shameful. We have also been dealing with evictions and re-evictions of tenants during this very unstable time. I am proud to report that the Filipino community has come together to advocate for tenants in our community, and two people of many come immediately to mind. I would like to give thanks and recognize Rose Emas and Enes Gagyutan for their tremendous advocacy on fighting for tenants in their eviction and re-eviction struggles in York South Western. It is particularly telling that when we are in the midst of a terrible pandemic and unstable economic times with a government that has done little to help workers, families and small businesses, that the Filipino community comes together even stronger to advocate for the community and look out for one another. I'm deeply grateful for the care they give to York South Western and across the province. Madam Speaker, I will mention as well the contributions of a former colleague of mine, Rowena Santos, a dedicated community activist who is the first Filipino Canadian elected in the city of Brampton. I recognize that recently the pandemic has brought rise to an increase in anti-Asian racism, which has also impacted the Filipino Canadian community in Ontario. We, in the official opposition, strongly condemn that racism and continue to urge the government to do more to fight to put an end to anti-Asian racism and systemic discrimination. Madam Speaker, we have before us with Bill 117 an opportunity to speak loudly to the Filipino community in Ontario that we celebrate, honour and value their enormous contributions to the social fabric of this province. We cannot thank the Filipino Canadian community enough, and I will proudly be supporting Bill 217 and officially proclaiming the month of June as Filipino Heritage Month. Thank you. Salamat.